Hi guys. So, rather frustratingly, I recorded all this before my competition and somehow deleted the entire video. But the reason I wanted to come on here was because it was something that had been raised through the last week prior to me taking time off. And that was being able to maintain consistency to goals, to feel a sense of purpose in those goals. Um, and actually just finding confidence in yourself. So I kind of wanted to touch on those few things and how I would approach this. So, one of the biggest issues most of us have is self belief, believing that that we're worth it, that we're worth investing the time into ourselves, that this body is amazing and is doing amazing things for us, that actually the body you have right now is the body you need to work with, not the 20-year-old body you've been thinking about. And that finally, to love your body. Pretty much all of us do the absolute opposite. We tend to hate on our body, we will complain about our body, we feel unconfident in ourselves, in our body, we will pick holes in our body, and consequently, with that kind of negative attitude or rhetoric going on in our minds, we then undermine ourselves in our attempts to improve our body. How many times have you looked back at your body when you were 20 and thought, God, I actually looked really good then, or I was in such good shape then, or I wish I looked like that? I would say most of us do. Now, how many of you, when you were in your 20s, appreciated how great your body was? Or were you in exactly the same mindset as you were now in your 20s? Did you pick holes in yourself? Did you never think you were quite good enough? Did you think that, God, this bit of body is a bit too flabby, or whatever else it might be, okay, or I need to lose some weight, or whatever it was? Because we continue this rhetoric throughout our lives. Now, we need to stop that because it's not going to change, and we're not going to change our mindset and our positive belief in ourselves if we cannot recognize that we are simply repeating a pattern that we've done in our 20s, in our 30s, in our 40s, or however old you are now. I want you to be in your 80s and look back at your 40s or 50s or wherever you are right now and think, fuck me, I done really well. I'm so proud of myself that I pulled my finger out. I started looking after myself. I really cared about the way I treated my body. And look at all the amazing things it actually could do for me. Yes, as we get older, we have more aches and pains. Of course we do. That's just, unfortunately, the nature of us aging. Much like your microwave or your fridge freezer, things start to fall apart a little bit, just like your car, which I seem to have a regular issue with. So, instead of focusing on all those small negative things that we want to focus on, I want you to start telling yourself that this body deserves all the love it can get. It deserves all the effort that you put into it and taking care of it that it deserves. Because if we can do that now, you're going to future proof this body for years and years and years to come. Okay. How do we do this? Because I know two of the biggest things for most of you out there are confidence and belief in yourself, and they're kind of one and the same in my opinion. Okay, and your actual purpose. Why are you doing this? Okay, are you doing it because you just think this is what you should do? Because let's be honest, social media, general media, everything out there says to you, you should be exercising, you should be doing 30 minutes a day, you should be doing XYZ, you should be eating this, this, and this. Are you doing it because of that reason? Or are you doing it for more positive reasons in the sense of, I need to do this to prevent me going into cognitive decline. I need to do this because I don't want to end up the way my parents ended up, or my grandparents, or somebody you know who has had very poor life expectancy, whatever that might be. You need to start to really drill down in your mind and on a piece of paper, why are you doing this? I recently asked a client, Okay, so you want to lose weight, but why do you want to lose weight? Okay, because I want to get healthier. Yeah, but why do you want to get what does healthier mean to you? Because saying I want to lose weight and I want to be healthier really means nothing. Everyone can say that. If you are trying to lose weight because you know that you are on the spectrum of going into being pre-diabetic, that's a pretty good reason that you want to lose weight. You might want to lose weight because you are very aware that you've seen hereditary wise that it's not been a great outcome because of weight gain. You may wish to lose weight for the pure aesthetic. That's fine. You might be saying, you know what, I just want to fit back into those size 10 jeans or whatever it might be. Okay. But you have to have a reason why you're wanting to do that, bar just because I want to get healthier or because I want to be slimmer. You want to have a purpose. And for those of you, obviously, you know me now, and I've put that whole story out there about my journey for doing the bikini competition. And I know it's purely aesthetic, right? I'm not that naive that is what it's about. However, in order for me to achieve this look for stage, in order to achieve this, because I wanted to do this, was a goal of mine to prove to myself, not about the aesthetic actually, to prove to myself how far can I push my body. I'm over 40. How far can I push my body naturally to be the strongest version it possibly can be, to be the healthiest version in terms of the nutrition that I was eating? You know, to really show to anybody who's around my age that anything is possible. So for me, it was a real year-long goal, but I had to break it up into pieces really. One piece was to just try and get some weight on actually, so I could put some muscle on. The next bit was actually starting to tailor how I did my training so that my training and my nutrition started to balance each other out. So I started to get into more of a maintenance phase. And then finally I was into what we call your cutting stage or dieting phase, to start to lean the body out. But you have to do all of these different things to achieve or to reach that goal. And the only way that I actually stuck to this more than anything else was two things. I tracked my entire journey because I wanted people to know exactly what I went through and to remind myself where I started and where I finished. The other thing I did was I booked my dates. I booked the dates for the show because A, they cost a lot of money, and B, it gave me a timeline. It gave me a deadline. It told me, if you are not ready by this time, you are going to disappoint yourself. Before anybody else, you're going to disappoint yourself, okay? So it gave me a real purpose to go for these things. Now, I'm not expecting you to do a bikini bodybuilding show. That is a bit extreme to say the least. But maybe you want to get up in front of a camera and feel confident in yourself. Actually believe in yourself, yeah? I want you to be able to feel gorgeous or handsome or, you know, sexy or whatever it is. And I want you to book a photo shoot and actually do something that is out of your comfort zone. Maybe you're the sort of person who's never stood in front of a camera, does everything to avoid getting in front of the camera, especially in family photos, that sort of thing. Do everything to step aside and not be in that photo. I don't want you to be that person. I want you to be a person that goes, look at me. I look really good and I'm so proud of myself, because ultimately that was my thing. I didn't win. Okay, I won in my category because there's one of me, but in the actual overall thing, I didn't win a medal. But I won for myself because I was so proud of overcoming the nerves, doing all the training, doing the nutrition, getting up on stage. That was shit scary, okay? But I did it and I was so proud of myself. That's what I want you to feel. I want you to feel this sense of elation and being so confident in yourself that you can go, this is me, okay? I might not be the most perfect thing up there on the stage. I don't care. I got up there and I gave my best. And I would love you to be doing something like that. I would love it that you, if you're the person who shies away from the camera, to book yourself the photo shoot. I would love it if you're the sort of person who thought, oh, I couldn't do a half marathon, but ends up going, I'm going to set myself the task to do a couch to 5K, and then in 6 months' time or in a year's time, I'm booking myself on for this half marathon. That is going to be my goal. So that is your part and then part into moving into towards a goal or to your purpose. If you don't have goals, if you do not have intentions that you want to set for yourself, if you do not have a really set purpose, it gets very lost along the way. And deciding to then therefore get stronger and get healthier, it's all sort of a bit fluffy, and you can find yourself easily excusing when you eat a whole chocolate bar, or when you didn't get out for your run because it was raining, or when you decided not to do that swim because it's a bit chilly. Doing those things isn't going to get you to where you want to go. And I'm not saying you have to have a challenge every single time, but I do think if you find you are losing your way, and perhaps you've had real wins in the past, maybe you've been getting ready for like a wedding or maybe an anniversary, whatever it might be, and you've succeeded because you had a date to get to, reflect on that and then really decide, what is it that I want for me? Okay, because what made you really, really proud to have maybe lost the weight or gained the weight, got some muscle on the body, yeah? And guys, if you put muscle on and you're really proud of yourself, go and put yourself in for that bloody photo shoot as well, okay? Be proud of what you have achieved, because like I said, I don't want you to get to your 80s or 90s and look back and think, I wish I'd got some nice photos of myself because I was so proud of myself of where I got to, or I'm so proud that I maintained that there on in. Because sometimes we just need a bit of reassurance and a little bit of somebody actually saying, yeah, you've done well. And actually, let's face it, we're human. We love to be told we've done well, It's just normal. And if we can have something that gives us that little bit more purpose, that is what's going to drive you for more results. So when I set you habits daily and you kind of do them really well when you first start with me, and then they start to waver and then they disappear entirely, it's going to be a lot easier if you have that purpose set for you. Okay. So I really want you to start to change the way you think. And the only way you're going to change sometimes the way you think is to set in place a deadline, a timeline, expectation for yourself of what it is you want to achieve. You will then start to implement those habits. My daily habits, aside from my training, aside from my nutrition, are to get out and walk at least 8,500 steps every day, which for me, bizarrely, is really hard to do. But for other people, 20,000 steps seems to be like the easiest thing in the world. So great. For me, it'd be like drinking 2 litres of water or 4 litres of water, depending on what I'm doing every day. For me, I want to try and make sure I start meditating again, because that went out the window and I want to have that come back into my life. All these small little things make a huge difference in our lives, and actually it's the small habits that you start creating for yourselves that are going to really influence all the bigger commitments that you want to make for yourself. And one last thing I will just touch on is time. Time is the biggest factor that I hear from people all the time. I don't have time. Now, you have a choice of how you prioritize your time. We have a choice to lie in or get up early. We have a choice to lounge around in the evening and watch TV, or go to bed early. We have the choice to get to the gym or get out for a walk or go out for a run, or we can choose to sit at home and devour the kitchen, which is basically what I would do otherwise. You have choices. If I say to you to get up half an hour earlier than you normally do, it's really not that big a deal. It's not that hard to do if you want something that badly. If you don't and you aren't seeing results, the only person you have to look to is yourself, because you truly, truly, truly have the power within you to do anything you want. You are completely and utterly in control of your life. Nobody else is living this life for you. And if people do not support you, if people do not encourage you to stick to what you really want, what you want to achieve, then they're not your people. So this is the end of my little rant. But I hope you understand where I'm coming from. If you can set yourself a goal, an intention, a purpose for you, you will find more and more purpose as that journey unfolds. And I promise you, you are going to build so much more confidence in yourself. You you are like the most important, unique person on this planet right now. Nobody else. Start treating yourself that way, okay? And start living this life. Like, enjoy this life and make this life about you and enjoy every single second that you have of this life. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and I will see you again soon.